Mark?
Jamaree, kind of your thoughts on knowing that JT wasn't probably going to go this week, and then the coaching staff having to decide who would start. I mean, how did that play out in practice in terms of getting ready for this game, and then knowing that Stetson ultimately would be the guy?
Just Stet's always ready, and that's a credit to him. He's always had the mentality of, when my time's called, I'm gonna shine. He did it last year, and when it comes to coach's decision, leave it to them. I don't have any say so in that. Go on them team, they would leave it to the coaches, and the reps can kind of, they just kind of, I guess they just kind of let them battle for it. So, those guys went out and they competed every day, and they didn't not step, and there was no big, reveal about it. But we went out with this step. We said we believe in you. We looked at Carson. We said we believe in you. So it's always going to play away for either one of those quarterbacks to be going in. So the belief has to be there for both of them. But proud of the way that step.
Mike Griffith.
Thank you. Hey, yeah, Jamaree, having trouble hearing you there. Kirby talked about the fast start, and you're obviously a team leader in there. Can you just talk about how the team was primed to get off to that kind of start today?
Yeah, it was a focus for us, just to be explosive. That's something that we wanted to improve upon. Just coming out of last week, just wanted to be more explosive, wanted to have more explosive plays. Because if you look at the stats, explosive plays are kind of the main direct correlation to teams who win the most. So yeah, I mean, we're really excited about how explosive we could be today. Got out to a hot start, one of the hottest I've been around since being here. So I'm proud of the way that we played, and like I said, it just goes back to preparation. We practiced for it. Stet prepared himself. Carson prepared himself. So yeah, we're just excited about it. Excited that we were able to accomplish the mission that we took.
Okay, next let's go to Seth Emerson and Anthony Dasher. Seth, you want to go?
Mari, I think a lot of people just assume we'd never hear from Stetson Bennett again. What is it about him that it seems like teammates rally around him?
Just look at the story. Stet has gone through just about anything that a guy could go through when it comes to college. He's been here for 5 years. I think he went to community college for a year, left, came back, won a starting job, lost a starting job, been on the scout team, won big games. Stet's lived life in college. I'll say that. Stet's lived the life of a college athlete to the fullest. So when it comes to his story, he's got that it factor. He's always going to show when his numbers call. And he's a good kid. He's a good person. You know what I'm saying? He's easy to laugh with. Always joking, smiling, singing. It's just Stet's a hard person not to like. And so when people do good and they're lovable people and they give their all to you and to your team, it's hard to not rally around a person like that.
Anthony Dasher. Anthony Dasher. Is Anthony on anymore? All right, let's switch to Chip Towers and then Brandon Sudge. Chip, did you have a question?
Sure. Yeah, Jamaree, was that basically the game plan? You got a situation you're not sure if your QB1 is going to be able to go, and you guys were going deep, right away, and you hit them, 21-0 before you knew it. Was that just a perfect scenario? Was that kind of what you guys planned for this game in particular?
I mean, quite honestly, we planned on just trying to be explosive. I guess that was the main thing for us. So I guess you could say that we wanted to try to take our shots and take deep balls when we could. But I mean, we believed that Stet could do, basically what JT could do when it comes to managing the offense, being a good quarterback, being a leader on his team. So it was, like I said, it was an exciting thing. And like I said, for us being the team that we were, we saw what Stet could do last year. And so for us, I mean, it wasn't like a big JT's not playing. What are we going to do? We had two great quarterbacks coming out of the fall behind JT that we believed in, and they just gave the nod to Stet. So we're really excited about the way we were able to execute that deep game. But yeah, proud of him.
Brandon.
Hey, Jamaree, if I can follow up on Stetson one more time. I mean, coming into this game, there have been a lot of questions, about his arm. There have been a lot of criticism, and Stetson said he couldn't completely ignore that. And he comes out and throws 4 touchdowns on his first 5 passes, has a QB rating of almost 800. I mean, what was that like to kind of watch that, just that eruption?
I mean, it's crazy. I didn't even know that was a stat line, but yeah, it's kind of crazy to look at. It's just kind of one of those things where, you know, I'll be glad 20 years later to say, you know, I was there. You know, I watched him do that. You know, I'm proud of him because, you know, at the end of the day, if you see Stet working day in and day out, Stet doesn't get a lot of reps in practice before this week. Of course, he didn't get a lot of reps in practice. You know, he just was kind of there, knowing the system, taking his reps on the side, mental reps, being there for the other quarterbacks who were potentially going to be ahead of him. So, you know, to see him just kind of step into that light again for a second time is special. Like, you know, you can't really put that into words. It's just kind of like, wow, like I'm glad I was there to see that, you know, and it kind of speaks to Stet's character, to who he is as a person. That's just who Stetson is. People question about whatever they want to question about, but at the end of the day, they can never take away the fact that when we need Stet or when Stetson needs to show up, he always does, and nobody can take that fact.
All right, next, let's go to Palmer and Stuart Steele. Palmer?
Yeah, Jamaree, I know early in your career you got some playing time in some of these type games. How important was it to see, and what were your takeaways watching some of those younger guys get in there, get some reps in game?
It's exciting. You know, those guys got a chance to come in a situation where they could just go ball, just go play. And you know, I've been in that situation. I think my first game actually as a college player, I came in at the end of the South Carolina game and got my first rep. So yeah, it was very, very exciting. But I'm excited for those guys. I was rooting them on, cheering them on as if we were playing for the national championship. You know, because at the end of the day, those guys are going to be the future. Those guys are going to be who you're going to see next year, who you're going to see in 2 years. They're the future. And, you know, those guys look up to me. And, you know, I always want to cheer for them just like they had an opportunity to cheer for me when we're out there competing for the game. So I'm excited for those guys. I'm excited for the reps that they got against really good players. That UAB has really good defensive linemen. So I'm excited they got good reps against good players who weren't wearing our own practice jersey. So, yeah, I'm excited for those guys. Happy for that they got the reps.
Go ahead, Stuart.
Hey, Jamaree. Just wanted to ask about the performance on the ground. Obviously, lots of explosive plays in the passing game, but not so many on the ground. Do you feel like you did a good job as a line today, open up the holes, and how can you get some explosive plays from the ground game?
I feel like it just goes back to execution. I know one thing that we talked about and from week one was attention to detail. And I think those small details are kind of what we're missing as a line. I feel like we played hard. I feel like we played physically. Like we went out there with a mentality, but it's just those small details, that one block, that one angle, that can break an explosive run. And you know, it just goes back to the drawing board. I don't think that we need to do necessarily anything special to say, oh, scrap this or we need this, or you know, we just need some attention to the detail. We need the small details, the major blocks, and just finishing and straining more up front, in the backfield, just whatever it is, you know, just finishing more. So, but I think we got potential that it takes to be a great offensive line. So, and it'll turn out.
All right, Jamaree's got time for a couple more if anybody has any more questions. Any more questions for Jamaree tonight?
Yeah,
Hey, Jamaree,
I want to ask you about playing offensive. I wanted to ask you about playing all these different offensive line positions.
Mhm.
How have you been able to stay focused when you're taking reps at center and we know you're a guard and playing the tackle as well?
I think for me, I just kind of look at it as a challenge. You know, it's a lot easier to go out and practice the way that we practice when you have a goal, when you have a reason that you go out there and you say, oh, I want to work on my hands today. I want to work on my feet. I want to understand how I can play guard better. I want to watch film today to understand what I can do better as a tackle. I just always try to keep myself engaged because I never know when the next challenge will present itself. You know, 1 or 2 plays away, I could be playing a different position. So, you know, I take it as a challenge and I'm excited for it. I enjoy it. It's not stressful or mentally draining for me. I enjoy it. I take it as a challenge. And at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything but make me a better player to understand what my teammates have to do, to understand how I can do it the way that they do it. And we all learn from each other every single day. So just learning my position or somebody else's position, that's nothing but a challenge to me. And I enjoy the challenge. I feel like I can play all 5 positions. So I'm glad that I can actually say that. And I have done it. So I'm excited for that.
Does anybody have another question for Jamaree?
Yeah, Jamaree, do you think that there's a position that you're best at? Do you think it's like guard or tackle? And do you think that there'll be some shifting of the line? I know Kirby said last week that might be something that he's got to find the best spot.
I think that's always the idea, is to find the best five, to find maybe not the best five talent, but the best five cohesion wise. You never know how to shake down on Saturday, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm better at one position than the other. I just try to be the best that I can be at every position that I play. Try to do whatever the team needs and try to help the team as much as I can. And I pride myself on it. I love being a team player. I love going out there and getting my all for the team, no matter what position it is. I don't like to say I can play one better than the other, because if I feel like I have a deficiency at one and I may ask extra reps to that position, I may try to see, what I can do, ask questions in meetings and stuff, just to try to not have any deficiencies in my game. Because like I said before, I'm maybe one or two plays away from somebody going down and me having to play another position. And then we'll be talking about another position. So I enjoy playing all five positions, and I try to maximize my potential at each one and be the best player I can.
Okay, thank you, Jamaree.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.